Hi everyone, it's Nancy Amato, the Be More Stamper. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday, July the 15th. I cannot believe that July is almost it is halfway over now. Not almost, there's nothing almost about it, right? So, welcome, welcome. It is Saturday, so we are doing some stamping Facebook Live. Let me tilt this up a little bit. Just to avoid some of the glare of my 8 million lights that I have working here on my table. Welcome, welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have, pop in the comments and say hello while we are getting started. Earlier this week on Wednesday, I wanted to know which one do you want me to work on next? So the choice was either layering leaves or just my type. Hi Beth, how are you? Thanks for joining me. Hello Miss Peggy, how are you? So the overwhelming winner was layering leaves. So that is what we will work on this week. I really couldn't decide between the two, so thank you for your feedback on Facebook and Instagram. We are going to talk about this stamp set. It is in our annual catalog on page 96, and here it is right here at the bottom. This is actually a $1 Million Sales Achievement stamp set. So this stamp set was inspired by Rachel Tessman, so congratulations to her. I love the font on the words in this stamp set, and the leaves coordinate with the Bough Punch, which is on 148. So let's open that up as well. So the stamp set itself is $24, and then the Bough Punch is right here in the center, and that is $22. Okay, it is not available as a stamp punch bundle because the Bough Punch has been out for a little while now. So it is nice, however, to have a new stamp set that coordinates with a punch that many of us already might have in our stash. Hey Susan, thanks so much for dropping off my shirt today. I'm sorry I missed you. Hi Lisa. How is it down where you are in hot and humid Florida? It's so hot and humid here. I think it's just me. I think I'm a woman of a certain age and I can't stand summer anymore. So I'd rather be inside stamping with the air conditioning vent blowing on my feet. That's for sure. Alrighty, so let's look at this. Here is the Bough Punch. And here is the stamp set. I'm going to slide this out of the way because you can notice for this punch there is the larger image of the layering leaves and the smaller one. So I'm going to show you a quick little hint about how you can line these up on your block to make sure that when you are going to be punching, everything is going to line up and you're going to waste the least amount of paper possible. Okay, so first off, you take just a piece of cardstock you have laying around. Doesn't matter what color it is. First thing you want to do, if you're like me, you do the word front on the front so you don't mess up. Some people do something fancy like template or whatever. I just do front. That works best for me. All right. We are going to open up the punch. We're going to hold it upside down so we see the punch actually doing the work here. We're going to slide this in, and all we're going to do is punch these two out. Okay. We're not going to need this for this project, but I'm just putting those to the side. We might need those. All right, so this is exactly what we see when we look at this punch. Alrighty? Okay, let me put this to the side. I am just gonna slide in. Of course, I have everything stacked up on the side, so yep, there we go. Yep, Hot Mess Express once again. Some of the stamps dropped onto the floor because I'm the queen of piles and I didn't think. All right, so we are going to put this just on something that isn't sticky, and I wanted to show this to you. Let me actually turn that up a little bit. That might be a little, that's better. Just something that isn't sticky, I guess is the right word for it. Now, I'm gonna take this leaf die, right? Or leaf stamp, my goodness, leaf stamp. And then I am just gonna lay it right in that hole that was created by the punch. All right, that is that one. And then here is the other one I'm choosing because we're going to use this for our card today. And now I'm laying that right inside. You can even pick up your little piece of paper there and wiggle it so that those stamps are going directly through those holes. Okay? Now, you're going to carefully lay it back down. You're going to grab your block and then push it right on top of those stamps. And when you lift it up, they're going to come out of this little template here. And you can just keep this right inside of your stamps, right inside the case. That's what I usually do. And now, watch what happens. Let me bring in the strip that we're going to use. Yep, like I said, I had a whole bunch of stuff just all piled up. All right, so this is like a 2.5 inch strip, which is plenty wide for this. So let me show you how easily this is going to work. So we want to make sure we're stamping with our smaller leaves on the top and the larger ones on the bottom. And again, since this is photopolymer, it is a good idea to use a foam mat underneath. And now we can just stamp that down, lift it up. I'm going to go down the whole thing because we are going to need to do that anyway. All right, go down, keep going. I think I can fit 4 sets on this strip. Yep. There we are. Okay, we're gonna need, I don't know if we're gonna need any more than that or not, but what I want to show you is when I open up my punch and I slide this in from the top, you can see when I wiggle it around and get it lined up that it is going to fit in there perfectly. Can you see the image? How it's perfectly lined up? Oh my goodness, I'm so happy with that. All right, so that is a little tip. Just make yourself a little template and just write either front or template on it or something like that so you know which way to place your stamps when they get lined up. Alrighty, this is the card we're going to be making today, and I am looking 1, 2, 3, 4, so I think this is going to be enough for this. I'm going to put that stamp over here, but there is also an image to fill in these leaves with this stamp set, okay? Right there on that stamp set. So we stamped these leaves with all the veins, and then we stamped these funky little things, whatever they are, on the top. Now we're going to use this stamp to fill in the leaves, and then we'll punch it all out at the same time. I just find it easier to keep this lined up on the strip versus punching each one out and then having to hold each of the leaf branches still so that I don't mess it up. All right, I'm going to fill this in with Granny Apple Green. And luckily, because this stamp is photopolymer, we are able to look right through it and line this up with the leaves. Now, hopefully my head, let's see, where's my camera? Okay. Hopefully my head won't get in there, but I do need to look through there. Oh, I forgot to stamp off, didn't I? Yes, yes, I did. Let me grab a little quick piece of scrap paper. Let's see, what should I use? I have some printouts here that I don't think I need anymore. No, I do need those. I do have the old Stamparatus paper in here, the 6x6. I loved this stuff. Now you can always just cut a piece of printer paper or something like that, but let me just grab this real quickly. So we will need to stamp again because that's a little too dark. I did forget to stamp off. But, you know, that's how it rolls with me sometimes. All right, so we are going to stamp off once. That's going to take one layer of that ink off. And now we're going to line it up. This is the look that I want. Yes, the lighter Granny Apple Green. So stamp it off on a scrap and then line it up again. And I love photopolymers because it is so much easier to line things up when you can see right through the block and right through the stamp, right? Okay, so we have those three. I am just going to, while we are here, I'm going to open up my Garden Green again. Bring over our block with our 2 leaf sprigs on there. And let's get this 4th one done since I forgot to stamp off, right? All right, close up the Garden Green. And then let's stamp that off. And now line it up, push it down, and there we go. All right, I'm going to close up this ink pad because this has been a day where I have been dropping things, making a mess, causing a craft-a-lanch. It's just been, do you ever have those days? It's just been one of those days where I just have to laugh at myself because it's like, wow, that was really coordinated. But that's how I roll sometimes, or most of the time, I should say. All right, now we're getting ready to cut these out. So what we want to do is slide this in again from the top, and you are going to be looking at this sprig, and you're going to line up the base of the stem and the tip of the leaf, okay? So I am going to have to tilt this a little bit towards my eyeballs to line it up, and then once I do, just gonna push the punch just to hold it in place and then raise it up so you guys can see, okay? See how that is lined up? Now I'm gonna push it all the way through and those guys are gonna pop right on out. Let's bring over the other 3 and we're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna cut all of our leaves and sprigs first. Get that lined up. That looks good. Hold it and then punch it. And I'm going to slide down again and do the same thing. There we are. And one last time here. Let me tilt this so I can see it first with my old lady eyeballs. There we go. Oh, and I finally went back to the eye doctor. I'm getting a separate pair of reading glasses. 3rd strike, I was out for the progressives. That's it. Won't be trying that again. Tried them 3 times, didn't work. So that's fine. Alrighty. Now, let's look at our sample once again. So what we've done so far are these leaves and then these little sprigs in the background. So now we're going to switch off our leaf to the other pattern, but we're still going to use this funky little spriggy thing at the top, but we're going to stamp directly onto some Granny Apple Green. So here is another like 2.5 inch strip. There we go. 2.5 inch strip is plenty, gives you plenty of room to stamp and then line up and punch out your images there. All right, so we're gonna leave that there, but we're flipping the other leaf branch. So let's bring in our template once again. Here we go. We're at the front, and we're actually gonna have to pull this one off too. We're gonna just do this one more time. You can see we're laying that in there. It's kind of like a puzzle piece. We're gonna lay this one in the top. And I like to just lift this up and wiggle these things right on in. And if you look, if you hold it up and you look through the side, you can see the stamps through. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but without them falling, but you can see them falling through those little holes. And just lay it down carefully. Put your block on top and press, and then that's gonna lift up your stamps. Alrighty, so this was Granny Apple Green. Uh-oh, hit the light by mistake. Oh my, this is gonna be one of my top 10 funny ones, I think. All right, so we're gonna do 2 of these. So we have Granny Apple Green on Granny Apple Green paper, okay? Granny Apple Green ink on Granny Apple Green cardstock. So this is just gonna look like a tone on tone. And we only need 2 of those. So we are good with that. Let me bring in my chamois once again and just clean this off. And let's get our punch. Punch those 2 out and put them in our pile of little layering leaves. Now the colors I've chosen for this one are Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Garden Green. I really wanted this to look bright and summery. So I will also be playing with this bundle in different color schemes just to show you the versatility of it. Doesn't always have to be green leaves, right? Okay. So there we have those in our stack. Next thing we need to do are these little yellow rosebuds, okay? We don't need to worry about lining this up because we are not going to be stamping a bottom sprig this time. So this time we only really need like a 1-inch strip of paper because we are just going to be feeding this into the top of the punch. Is that making any sense? Yeah, we're just going to stamp those. We just need to make sure we're stamping them in the right direction. And then we're just going to stamp those and just punch them along. So for that, we only need a 1-inch strip. Let's bring in my Daffodil Delight ink pad. And we can move this out of the way. So now I am going to just be stamping this with the rosebuds to the left, all the way down this strip. I can definitely fit 6 in there, and that's how many we're using, so hopefully I will punch them all out correctly. So again, we're going to line this up, looking for the stem being at the bottom and then the tippy top petal being in place as well. And if those two things are lined up, then the rest of it should be as well. Alrighty, so here we go. There's 2. I want to take my time doing this. And 3. I guess I could have done this earlier. Sorry about that. And then 4. 2 more. And 5. And here's the last one. Now, I love having a punch bundle sometimes because it is easier to travel with a punch and the stamp set and some ink and cardstock, right? You don't need to take a die cutting machine with you. I enjoy a good punch and stamp set combination sometimes because it's just easier to create on the road, so to speak, or if you're, you know, going over to someone's house to stamp together. It is just so much easier just to bring those things than having to haul a die cut machine and all that kind of stuff as well. So, oh, hi Catherine, how are you? Oh, I'm reading your comments now. Dude, cut the strip thinner. Yes, yep, you are absolutely right. Yep, copy paper from a printer. That's what I usually have for Stampin' Off. And the one thing that I thought I was finished with over here to my side is actually directions for a card I haven't made yet, so I can't mess it up. But thank you so much for watching today. Alrighty, so let's see. We need our greeting now and the little speckles that come with this stamp as well. I love these little speckles. So I'm just going to put the other stamps over here. Let's talk about what we need to make this card. Now that we have all of our little pieces cut, we're ready to roll to do the rest of it, okay? So I already went ahead and punched out a 2 3/8 inch circle with our new 2 3/8 inch circle punch, which is in the online exclusives. Okay, so look for that there. It is not in our paper catalog, but it is visible online. So 2 3/8 inch circle, that's in basic white. Then we're also going to need a piece of basic white for our card base, 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And just like normal, we are going to score it and fold it in the middle there at 4 1/4. Okay, that's over there. We need a layer of Granny Apple Green. I was like, I know I wrote the measurements. Maybe if I flip them right side up, that will work. Oh my goodness, this is 3 7/8 inches by 5 1/8 inch. Okay. And then we have our last piece, which we are going to layer on top of that. And this is just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So this basic white is 3 3/4 by 5. Alrighty. So I have all my sticky notes on top of my cup there. Let's bring in our 2 3/8 inch circle punch out again. And we are going to use the greeting that says, "So happy to celebrate you." I just love this font, don't you? So I'm going to just ink this up with some Daffodil Delight ink. And because it's photopolymer, I can see right where it's going to go. And that helps me aim for the middle, much easier. Alrighty? I'm going to put that over there. Let's put this to the side. We are going to need our little piece of scrap paper underneath, because now we're going to do these little speckles here. Can you kind of see those in the corner here? It's very light because we are going to stamp it off first before we stamp it on our paper. I did remember that this time. So put your little piece of scrap paper on top of your foam mat. and ink up your speckles and stamp them off one time, and then just stamp them on the corner. And I'm just going to do this from the upper right corner all the way down to the lower left. And that just gives a little bit of detail to the background. I'm not going to worry too much about the middle because it is going to be covered up by the circle. There we go. Yeah, it is a little warm out there today. I was, see what happens? I get talking. I'm gonna flip it over. Let's start that again. Stamp off. I have a huge, huge weed in my front garden where my wildflowers are. And, you know, while it is beneficial to pollinators, which I enjoy, it's ugly as all get out. So I need to pull that out. And it has a taproot, a very long taproot. So I have looked up that I can use boiling water and a little vinegar. Once I cut it down, if I pour boiling water and vinegar on that cut, that it should kill the taproot and then kill this weed. So that's my plan today, but right now it's too stinking hot for me to be doing that. Maybe I should set up a live when I do that, because Lord knows that should be amusing. Alrighty, so we have that done. Now we're going to start to build our leaves, and then our circle is going to go right in the center. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way, and let's go and sort our leaves into their different types here. Okay, there's our little rosies, or whatever they are. Here's the big ones, and then those little ones. Alrighty, so what I like to do is just kind of eyeball where I'm going to be putting that, and I'm going to just start tucking these under. I'm not going to glue anything down yet. I just want to get their placement right where I want them to be. Alright, so I want those granny apple green ones to be there, and then I'm going to put these guys on either side of the granny apple green. Okay, so I'm just fitting them under there like that. All right, now I can lift up my circle, and then I can sort of fine tune the placement of these bad boys. And then I am going to use some tear and tape adhesive just to hold them down. Now I don't want this guy hanging over too far. All right, so that's good. Let me get my tear and tape out, which will require me moving a light. There we go. And moving my drink with my Post-it notes on it. Okie dokies. So this guy can hang over a little bit, but I don't want him hanging over too much. All right, so I have some tear and tape there. I'm not worrying about that showing because the circle is going to go over top of it, remember? So this one, I want him about there. And this guy about there. Okay, so I'm going to just peel off another strip. I just like knocking all of these down at one time. All right, and I'm just going to push that down so they really get stuck. All right, those babies are really stuck on there. And like I said, we are going to put this circle on top. So what I didn't do for this one, for this particular card, I put the circle down flat onto here. what I want to do this time is just pop it up with dimensionals, and then it's going to be so much easier for me to tuck in these little guys versus the way I did it this time. So let's go with that theory and see if that works. Let me grab some dimensionals. Maybe it will. But we're going to be mindful of where we put our dimensionals. We only want to put like 2 right in the center there. We don't want to put them all around the edge, because then that's going to interfere where we are going to be sticking in those last little pieces, those last little fronds. All right, I wanted to make sure I didn't speckle the circle before I put it down. Now, I made this card a while ago, so I'm, you know, like trying to remember exactly what I did, which is just kind of humorous. Alrighty, so now we're gonna need our liquid glue. Okay, so I think I stuck these guys down next. So I am going to put 2 of these up here, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue on the back. Tuck that under like that. Okay, push that down. All right, same thing over here. Just a little bit of wet glue on the back of the stem. Pick that up and tuck that down. All right, and now I'm going to take one of the Granny Apple greens, and that's going to go in the center. So we're going to do that on the top and the bottom first. Alrighty, that looks pretty good. Let's do the same thing down here, and then the last thing we'll do is we'll add in our little rosebuds, our little Daffodil Delight rosebuds. Alright, so I'm going to lift that up, slide that one under there. And every time you do this, it might be a little bit different depending on where you positioned your first biggest leaves. So it's not going to look the same every time, and that is just perfect, because that is the beauty of a handmade card, right? If we try to make it the same every time, then we might as well just go and buy a store-bought card, which whew, gives me the shudders. I shudder to think that. Alrighty, so there we go. We have all of our greenery done. Now we are just going to use our rosebuds here, and we are going to layer those inside. Ooh, I did not do a really excellent job of punching that one out. I gotta go back and redo that, ladies and gents. I can see where I must have moved. There it was. Let's just re-ink that. We have space on our little strip here. Yes, I tend to be a little bit fussy when it comes to my cards. And that one was not passing inspection at all. Let's just punch this out since we had room. Alrighty, there we go. I think I was trying to rush. It's probably what the problem was. Yes, so that goes right in the recycling bin. All right, so now we're gonna do the same thing and just add in our yellow roses. Just kind of tucking them, lifting that up and tucking those down. Angle towards the center. And then this one is going to angle there towards the side. And now we're going to do the same thing for the bottom. Hang on, I had a pop-up come up on my laptop and I can't see. There we go. Can't see to make sure that I am still in frame and everything. I love those recipes that pop up, but not when I'm doing a live. I need to see and make sure I'm doing things in the spot where you guys can see them too. Okay, so there's one. And then here's another one. Right there, and our last one. Let's get a little bit of liquid glue on there. Okay, we're going to tuck this one right underneath the bottom. And have that one kind of tilting like we did that one. Have it tilting this direction since that one was going in that direction. Alrighty, I am pretty happy with that. I think that looks pretty darn good. Alright, so now we are going to layer this right on top of that Granny Apple Green layer. So that's where I made my boo-boo, remember? But there's two sides to every piece of cardstock, so you always get a second chance with stamping, which is good because I often use that second chance. There we go. Alrighty, so we have that. And let's see, did I use? Yes, I did. I used Dimensionals to then pop that up on the front of the card. So let's put one in every corner, and then let's put one in the center, just so we don't have any sagging in the middle, since we have quite a lot of weight on the front of this. Now let's bring in our card front, and center that. There we go, and just tap that down. Alrighty, let me get rid of these little guys. To finish it off, we are going to use some of these really cute brushed brass butterflies. And these are, look at those, they have all like fallen down because I had them sitting up. These are in excess supply, actually. They have tons of these, apparently, in the Stampin' Up warehouse. So if you love butterflies like I do, then be sure to get yourself some of these. They are not sold out by any stretch of the imagination. So you won't be disappointed when you order those because they are available. I'm going to use one large one down here. Take my pick tool just to pick that up, and he is going to be flying down here. Then I'm going to use a small one up here on my greeting near my bow, and another teeny tiny one up here. Okay, so there's two sizes, so I am just going to grab this guy. He's flying over here, and he's going to go in my circle, and then another small one up here at the top. Okay, so we sort of have our triangle here going around our greeting, so our eye is going to automatically look in that area. Now let's get out our linen thread. When I made this card initially, I had run out of linen thread, so I was using the thicker Baker's Twine combo pack, but I like the color of the linen thread a little bit better. So let's find the end. Oh my, it's a new one. Let's see. I don't have any. Let's see if I have another one open already, so we don't need to sit here and watch me do this. Oh yay, I do. Oh, there goes my labeling machine. Oh my Lord. You didn't know you were going to have a comedy routine today, did you? All right, here we go. All right, so we're going to make a double bunny ear bow. So what I'm going to do is cut 12 inches. And then I'm going to cut another 12 inches. And that is going to be plenty of room for a double bow. Now, we are just going to put these two together All right, and we're having the edges match a little bit, as best we can. All right, now we're going to do the bunny ear bow. So we're going to make a loop and then hold that together. So it's just an up and down loop. Hold that together between your pointer and your thumb. Give yourself about 2 inches or so. Make another loop. Hold that between your other pointer and thumb. And then what we are going to do is just cross them over like Mickey Mouse ears or bunny ears. And then I'm right-handed, so I use my right pointer to push that through that hole, and then we pull, okay? And then this is what gives us our bow. Normally when I do this, I leave it on the spool so I have enough length to do this, but since this was a double bow, I did have to cut, and you can see we have plenty. We have more than plenty there. We will trim off those edges, the excess edges there. So let's get that down. Let's find our glue sticks. No, not glue sticks, glue dots. There they are. I think I need a nap today, ladies. I don't know. I seem a little frazzled. All right, I'm gonna put a glue dot right there. And then I'm gonna push the knot of our bow right into it, and then take my pick tool kind of just to move that glue dot all around the knot of that bow. So I don't have any extra glue dot kind of sticking out that may catch something else. And now I can bring in my snips and just cut that one off there. Give this side a little bit of a haircut as well. There we go. Okay, so that is our card today. So this is our first card using the layering leaves. We will be doing more with layering leaves as the week progresses. So keep coming back to my Facebook page here, Be More Stamper, Nancy Amato, Independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and tune in and you can see a bunch of different ideas. Like I said, I'm going to use different color schemes, different kinds of card folds, just so you can see the versatility of this stamp set. So again, Layering Leaves is in our annual catalog on page 96. It is $24. If you are interested in purchasing this stamp set and you are in the US, reach out to me and I will be happy to help you. Or you can visit my online store at nancyamato.stampinup.net and then just click Shop Now. So thank you so much for watching today. I will have more to post this week, so be sure to stop back. Let me just scroll down here and make sure. Oh, Rachel Tessman will love me? Yes, I'm sure she will. I love this stamp set, actually, Catherine. It's really gorgeous. And I think what really sold me on it, before, when I looked at the new catalog, before I realized that it even coordinated with the punch, I just love the fonts on all of these greetings, and they're so versatile. So we did the So Happy to Celebrate You. That could be for anything. That could be for a wedding, a shower, a graduation, you name it, okay? A birthday, best wishes. That could be, again, for a wedding, a shower, a baby shower, just about anything. Sending hugs, I love that one as well. Everybody always needs a card, in their stock to send to somebody maybe facing some tough times, but sending hugs is great. Thinking of you. Thank you so much. And I just love this hello also. And the For You would make a really great little gift tag. So that is another thing that is churning in the old brain here about doing some gift tags and gift packaging with this stamp set as well. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend and stop back, and I will be posting photos throughout the week of projects with the Layering Leaf stamp set. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.